Okay. So,
Wait for it. Wait for it.
Okay.
cool. So, just as a quick recap from last time, uh, while Lancy had returned from being left behind, Ornthalis is nowhere to be seen. He probably wandered, trying to see if there's anything in the nearby area that might help, or just doing a quick scouting while others try to take a crack at what's going on.
Yeah, because fuck Lancy.
I wouldn't recommend that. He might bite your dick off. So
That is true.
Bruh.
So, as everyone descends into darkness, of what is, it's called a dungeon for lack of better terms. It's not exactly a grave. Lancy, after lighting a torch and handing it to Aniva, returns back to the surface, to which runs into Ornthalis, and Ornthalis comes back down. Lancy's saying that he needs to get a few of his tools that he left up front when he was fiddling with getting Winter healed when she sliced her hand open. So now we have Winter, Gulp, Ornthalis, and Aniva all underground in a very well, I consider mobility part of Gulp. So all of you are down within the darkness of that is in the crypt, dungeon, however you want to call it, greeted with what appears to be your very old-fashioned, just standard bar prison door kind of style, medieval bar door, extremely dark, with what only light you have being the torch that was lit by Lancy before returning to the surface.
So we got a locked door.
Is it?
So I'm gonna like check. I'm gonna check the door. It's like, let's see if this one is more. Let's see if it's locked. Because if it is, I'm gonna have to lockpick it.
So, as you approach the door, you're not seeing much of a handle or a knob, but you do see a very old-fashioned, just bar with a peg handle that you would move back and forth to kind of lock it in place.
I'm gonna try to open it.
It's rusty as fuck, but after nails on a chalkboard level of metal screeching of it scraping, it does eventually slide open and you can push the door open.
Dag blasted door. It sounded like Mariah Carey.
Little ambiance. Never hurts.
What?
That little ambiance never hurts.
Yeah.
So, alright. So the door's now wide open. It does open inwards, so you kind of do have to take a step back so you can let it swing inwards. You see a hallway made of fairly rugged, would be a proper term. Very rugged sandstone for the flooring. What appears to be, from what little bit of the light you can see through, is another door to your immediate left, and what appears to be a room to the immediate right.
Well, let's get a move on, everyone. We're going to have to see what this dungeon has in store for us. Keep together. Don't want to get lost.
Are we seriously letting this one be the leader?
Apologies, say again?
Are we seriously letting this one be the leader? I'm not saying I'd be a better
Whatever that
one.
is.
I'm just saying that, you know, what, forget it.
I'd recommend they go first because then they'll run into danger first.
I've yet to return, right?
You're with the party, yes. So pretty much,
okay.
as Lancy was going up to return to the surface to reacquire tools, you pretty much passed them and went down after
Right,
returning
right.
from your perimeter check.
Okay.
Other than the usual
curious
sandworms,
to
not much really noticed.
bet. I think it would be rather entertaining
Jesus,
to
where the hell
let
were
this
you?
one take the path. Apologies. I was just patrolling the perimeter, make sure that everything was clear.
I'm gonna warn
You
you next
missed
time
that.
when you sneak up on us like that. Good heavens!
Well, he didn't sneak up on us. He was there for a while.
Since bloody when? He wasn't there last time I
About
looked
5.
behind me.
I mean, he was there
Just
when
a
I
couple
last
of
looked behind you.
minutes.
You're a thief level of quiet. Holy shit.
If you want, I can announce when people are behind you.
If not bloody
Either way,
obvious.
we're off topic.
Well,
We're
as long
falling
as
off.
I was behind you now.
you
Appreciate
missed
it.
out on you missed out on some cooking.
Mm-hmm.
I cooked up some meals for everyone. Once we get out of here, I'm sure I can cook you up something.
For once, it actually wasn't poison.
I was
The
excited. I didn't
thought
die.
is appreciated. However, I don't believe that meat would be the right choice for me personally.
You're a vegetarian.
I'm what one to a degree.
Understood.
What is a vegetarian?
You only eat plants, no meats. So,
Hmm.
well,
Well, if you want,
you're allowed like milk and eggs, but you're not allowed like outright meat. So, red
Hmm.
meat, chicken, pork, that kind of thing.
if you want, I could whip you up some soup with onion grass in it.
So he doesn't eat spiders?
The thought is appreciated. However, I do have plenty of rations myself, and also for the record, I also do eat fish.
Pescatarian.
Yes, I believe that's the term. Terms seem to change every couple
You.
decades or so.
But
And
Aniva, as for context with your spiders, very
Mhm.
few areas actually serve with spiders. Only those that deem it a delicacy. You might find that in areas like Rosaween and within the other grounds. But most people don't really eat spiders. They might use it for potion brews, but not food.
Okay. I must see these fish that are up here. I'm interested in them.
Well,
and
perhaps once we're done with this, we can go fishing.
He said it! He said
Yes!
it!
You said fishing! We're going! Alright, guys, we're switching it. Warframe stream now.
so
Fishing stream.
I'm going to move forward,
Okay.
and I'm going to have Bob Biddledy at my side. It's like scan for traps, Bob Biddledy. We need to make sure that this place ain't what's the word?
A trap?
You said trap.
What is so funny about it?
But so let's see here.
Understood. Scanning for caravans. Did you just say scanning for caravans for looking for trap? You know what? I'm not even gonna question it. Why do I even bother?
So, so do I have to roll for this?
What are we roll for? What? What are we rolling for?
I'm searching for traps, making sure this place ain't.
Perception check with disadvantage due to being dark. I mean, you have a
All right.
torch, but that still limits what you can do.
All right, let me grab the dice here.
I'd also like to make my own individual perception check.
Knock yourself out. Looking for the same thing? Just looking for traps?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
but
And where?
I won't be making it
Obvious.
obvious. Yeah.
You look to the left, you look to the right. Too bad.
Mine's gonna be a 14.
Okay.
Also 14.
So both of you don't see any outright, blatant, obvious traps. If there are any, they're either well hidden or already out of commission. Not out of commission, but triggered itself off just due to age. Like, you can see some spots in the wall where there easily could have been a tripwire, but there's nothing there. Just a nick in the wall.
The man in the wall.
Well, look at this. This place is falling apart.
And
It
try.
appears so.
Let's start looking around, see if we can get into some lighter areas. You want Bob Billy to hold the torches?
Sure.
So she's just gonna have him hold the torches, and she's gonna we're gonna move forward to the left.
Your left or the table's left?
My left.
So, going down the very obvious hallway, and Winter and Ava pretty much just standing at the door frame that is right there. Not following, but obviously not advancing in the opposite direction, but just observing. You approach this next door, very, very similar to the last one. Just a bar and peg door. From what you can see on the other side, um, just straight through the bars, there is a couple of what appear to be cages that are swung wide open. What appears to be a well drain, because there is obvious signs of water erosion coming from another hole that's against the wall on the right side. You know what? Actually, both of you make me a nature check.
Oh, a what?
Nature check.
All right.
Am I actually recording? Yes, I am. Okay, thank Christ.
That's going to be a natural 20. So if you want the modifier, 22.
Yeah, granted, I never do automatic successes, but it also does help with best case scenario.
Gotcha.
So,
To me, they're just numbers. I don't do critical fail, critical success. It just means best case scenario, worst case scenario.
unless it's in combat situation.
Even so. Natural 20 just means crit. There's also ways within certain occupations abilities that just decrease the crit. Like, I think for Dragoons, once you hit like level 18 or something like that, all you need is an 18 to land a crit.
True that.
She got a 23.
Okay, so both of you can easily just look at how the sandstone is eroded. There probably hasn't been water down here for a very long time. Equally as much as how long there's been oxygen.
So we can see behind, so we can see this door, right?
It's a bar door. Like imagine like your those medieval kind of European dungeon jail doors, or how they're just literal just iron bars.
So she's like, she's gonna look back. It's like, Bob Biddley, hand me my Spractor.
Your what?
And Bob Biddley, she's gonna have him reach into her satchel and pull out this. Pyro, look at this. This is what she pulls out.
What is this?
That's her Spractor.
What is a spractor?
It's a thing that she invented. There, look at that.
So it's a ratchet welded to the bottom of a sawtooth wrench with a screwdriver welded onto the top of it with a hammer head welded to the back of it.
Oh hell no! You are not getting any torque with that bitch.
Homie, you know there's things already existing that are called a multi-tool for this reason. You don't need to weld all that together.
Actually, multi tools do not function like that perfectly because you know there's tools are designed like that for a reason.
Um, but yeah, she's gonna she's gonna like start messing with the door,
Okay,
like trying to see if she can pry it open if it don't open already.
cool. Make me a strength check.
That's a straight up 20.
Total love.
She doesn't have any modifiers for strength.
Okay. So yeah, with just pure strength alone, you use this for the very tool that it is not, a crowbar, and just due to how old this place is, the little slab of metal that's keeping this door, the bar and peg piece, to make it kind of locked. Yeah, you just break it off of the sandstone and it opens, and
And so she
you push the bar, the peg and bar, and you could have just opened it.
so she puts her Spractor back in the bag, and she's like, "There, I never met a door I couldn't open."
Could have just opened it the same way you did the last one.
Doors have handles for a reason.
I don't think she can handle this one.
Couldn't handle any of them.
Well, she opened the first one perfectly fine. What was this with this one?
I wanted to make. We're gonna run across one of them that's locked. I know it.
Why would any of
Might as
these
well
be locked?
might as well break out the Spractor while I can.
Genuine question. Why would any of these doors be locked?
Well, I don't know. Maybe there's like mummies down here or something.
You actually believe in that stuff?
Hey, I know a lot of archaeologists who went down into tombs like this and they didn't come back. And then they found snakes in their canary cages and stuff.
Because people are bloody idiots and are diving into places they don't know. Like us. We could be that person.
So, well, that's why I came prepared with my Spectre, just in case. Now let's get a move on. We gotta see what's in here.
Why am I even arguing with this individual? Why do I keep bothering? With your pried door open, it kind of just swings open, and as you open it fully, the hinges just break and the door just hits the ground.
And she's like, yeah, this place is falling apart.
I think we gathered that the first time.
Need to get extreme tomb makeover over in this here.
Makeover for what? Obviously, nothing has been down here for several centuries.
So she's gonna look around in the inside of this room.
Okay, so essentially, what you're immediately seeing is, so here and here, look to be very, very old braziers. Um, it looks like some sort of old material from way back when, that was used to keep it lit, but it has clearly either smoldered out or burnt out. The cages uh, have probably about three skeletons apiece of some kind of humanoid type skeleton. And there is what appears to be some sort of shrine statue off to the left.
So she's gonna look at the shrine.
Okay. It appears to be an individual kneeling with no arms and a blindfold over their eyes.
Oh, bitches.
Female.
Hmm. Well, there's two possibilities that there are two possibilities here. One, either this is a master of martial arts, or two, this is a god or some sort that they've been worshiping, and these people were in it. These people were sacrifices to it. Whoever was in the cages there. I'm willing to bet it's the latter,
Don't
which
even know
means
what
that
that
there's.
means. Is bizarre.
Well, I done heard about this kind of thing before. They used to have them down in the swamps, but I know that whatever this is, it wasn't good. We're gonna have to be careful down here. We don't
What?
want to get separated or nothing. Because there could still be cultists down here.
Cultist? Did you miss the part where we provided oxygen for this place for the first time in God knows how long?
All right. Um, but yeah, she's like, well, they could still be around. You never know with this stuff. So she's like,
As someone who works in a church, I'm pretty sure I do.
Ornithologist, what do you think? You think this is something worth worrying about?
Best to keep our eyes open for threats, though I doubt we'll be facing cultists.
So what are these things in the what are these things over here with these two circular things over here?
You're gonna be Braziers.
I don't know what bras have anything to do with anything.
No, not what? No, Braziers. They're
That's what I said, bras.
no Braziers.
No, years.
So they're large
How?
cauldrons meant to continuously keep fire, long lasting.
Oh.
Makes bonfire.
Oh.
They're very. They're like a bonfire, but instead of for cooking, it's for keeping rooms lit for long periods of time with little use of material.
Oh, that's not what they mean where I come from. We're gonna have to so they ain't been in use for a long time.
Obviously,
Think whoever was using them cleared out.
I'm pretty sure people cleared out before they stopped using them. In fact,
All
I'm pretty
right.
sure they just let them stay lit and then sealed the place off.
Well, there's nothing here. I definitely don't want to go down in that well.
They're wise.
So let's see what else there is. Let's see what else there is around here.
You're gonna see that Winter goes up to one of the cages and opens it very simply. There was nothing locking these, and just opens it and starts taking a look at some of the bones. Well then, nothing good or bad tonight. Alrighty then.
What's your diagnosis?
My diagnosis is they're dead.
I
I
would have
know,
never
but I
guessed.
mean, what killed them?
Death, time,
It,
lack of oxygen. Could be anything. But none of these bones are well preserved. And again, that's what you get when there's no oxygen. About as dry as my humor. What's really intriguing is the proportions of the bones. Take a look at this. Naturally, tibia, which is this bone right here, and taps her thigh, is supposed to be the longest bone in the entire body. But why is it his arms are equally as long?
She's gonna look at her arms and look at her legs. Are these scarfels?
I very much doubt it. What's also a little bit concerning is, I don't know if you noticed, but there's a skull here. Not one of them. So we have one, two, three. Looks over to the other cage. About five sets of skeletons, not a single skull.
So what do you think happened in here?
I think someone knew exactly what they were doing.
I guess we're going to have to find out. All right. Winter, you seem to know what you're talking about with some of this stuff. So you stay close. Orndalis, you and let's go forward the other way and see if there's anything we can figure out. I'm staying in this room with this effigy over here. It's giving me the goose pimples.
Goosebumps. I really question my intelligence at times. Alright, so turning around and going down the hallway to the next room.
Yeah.
So as soon as you get to about here, you're seeing more and more of these braziers. So here, here. And again, like the other ones, they're all snuffed out, or the material's just not there. But you're also seeing this entire spot right around here pretty much be similar to like an altar, how there's a lot of candles and a lot of offerings, a lot of notes. And behind it appears to be some kind of throne chair. There's a lot of things tossed around on the ground. Uh, appears to be just pieces of parchment, various loose items of various kinds, candles, coin, clothes.
I'm going to use my keen eye on some of these objects.
Okay. Make me an appraisal check.
All right. 24.
24. As far as the parchment goes, it's in a language you don't understand, so you can't make thick or thin out of it. But these coins are nothing like you've ever seen. You've seen cultist money, you have seen dragon money, you've seen everyday common coin from copper, silver, gold, but you have never seen coin quite like this. It literally looks like someone took a very simple brass like metal, made it into a circle, and stamped what appears to be some kind of falcon head.
So she's going to
And it's only
scoop
one
up.
face, too, because if you flip it over, it's just a flat back, but there's only one side of the stamp.
She's going to scoop up some of the coins, and she's going to take one over to Winter. She's going to be like, "Look at these coins. I've been doing business for years, and I ain't seen nothing like this. What do you think it is?"
Yes, Winter. Okay. Definitely light. No gold by any means. No silver or anything in between, just by the color. For the stamp, anything like I've ever seen. But if this is some kind of coin, it's rather interesting that there's no backside. Most coin I've seen have sides design, or one-sided design. Not exactly sure. Might have been just coin for marking, for sigils. Might be less of a coin and more of a token. I know some guilds do things like this. Could be.
Well, I know for a fact that back in the day they used to make coins out of tin, and anti-counterfeiting laws couldn't keep up with them. So sometimes they would use they would remit coinage out of tin and use them for like counterfeit money purposes. You think this is anything like that?
No, this is too light to be tin. Plus, look at this. Shine your light over here. And she'll hold the coin up to the metal. Not the metal, but the torch. It's got too much yellow in color, so it can't be tin. It's
Should
very.
we take some of these coins back to the surface?
I'm not sure. Definitely some kind of, well, lack of better terms, artifact. However, we don't know what else this is. This could be tokens. This could be
Maybe we can.
this could be actual old money. It could be anything. We don't know what it is.
Well, maybe we should keep a hold. We take some of these and bring them to one of them historiological people down in town.
It might be an idea.
They
But
might be able to tell us more about it that we don't know. As for
well,
the other stuff, she's gonna look at the other stuff.
you just got various clothes, parchments, candles, rug.
Do you
Uh,
recognize what any of this is written in?
takes one glance at it. Hell no.
Maybe we should take some of these papers too, see if someone can translate them.
Everything in this damn room is ancient. That's putting it politely.
And what
But
about this throne? You think somebody real? I think somebody real important must have been sitting on it, but I can't figure out who. Do they got some kind of pharaoh or something that they were like being ruled over or something?
Well, according to the scramps, they were treating this individual as a king after what he did. But I doubt this is for him, judging by how they buried him.
Well, then that raises another question. If that's not for him, then who is it?
Someone above him in terms of authority.
Well, let's hope we don't cross paths with whoever this important person is.
And if
They
we
could
do,
be
may the gods
hostile.
bless us.
Can
So
I
I'm
make a history check on this?
Yeah, you can go for it. You will get full bonus on this because everything in this room pretty much is past that date.
Bet that's gonna be a 27.
So, judging by the architecture of this particular chair, this is by no means an actual throne. This is an executioner's chair. Typically,
Anything
with a
else?
design of
Okay.
this, these would be what would be used to tie down an individual and either inject them by some means of, say, a tarantula or some spider or snake for lethal injection and to be killed by the venom and just let their organs shut down. But
I don't.
judging that you're not seeing much of any kind of bloodstain, that actually rules out the second use of this, which is making a cutthroat very easy and ritualistic.
Not quite as kind as what you may think it to be.
So elaborate, you obviously know something we don't.
It's actually, if you look over here, you'll see that it's not any sort of throne. It seems to be more along the lines of an executioner's tool.
Execution.
then that means they must have brought people down here for a lot more sinister purposes. I guess whoever crossed them or whoever wasn't listening to commands got taken out in the worst possible way.
That might explain the body bones. That doesn't explain where the head's went. Or, I guess that raises a few more questions. If this is supposed to be his grave, why did they expand upon it as an execution?
I don't believe that's truly a grave. I believe it's more akin to,
Prison?
how do you say it?
A body
An
pick.
insult.
So they didn't bury him respectfully. They more just toss him in a coffin and sent him down the river, kind of thing.
Something to that effect.
Well, if that's the true case in that manner, then why all the praise? Unless there's a chapter that they're not wanting the public to know. Which, 1 million people, case. But now that raises a few more questions. Who all was killed here? Why were they killed? What reasons were they killed for? Who killed them? What does it correlate with our guy? Yes, these coins, obviously. Wait a minute. I did bring up the point that they were used as tokens for guilds. Do you think this is their mark?
Maybe we're going. This could very well be.
The question is, if that is the
Doubtful.
case, doubtful. Why do you say that?
If I'm correct in my assumptions, the mark wouldn't be something so obvious. I don't feel, I don't believe we're dealing with any form of cultist style behavior.
But more mercenary work.
I'm thinking more along the lines of a nation at war with itself.
Dictatorship behavior?
Dictatorship, totalitarian.
So we're dealing with the demagogue here, huh?
No one necessarily go that far. That we haven't seen one of those in several centuries. But I wouldn't put past the idea if everything is predating day zero. No one really knows what happened before that much. There's not many documentations. We just know from tales or stories or something in between. Most of it is all just assumptions.
Should we go looking further into these hallowed halls?
I mean, we kind of have to. We're not leaving empty-handed. Well, as far as we do have a bounty that we have to collect.
Right. Let's get a move on then. Let's go down this middle hallway here and see what we can find.
All right. So going down the hallway, you've got what it seems like right here to be another hole in the wall that was originally intended for water supply. Um, very similar to like an old-fashioned, kind of like a forced waterfall or a controlled waterfall. How you can control the water flow. But again, the amount of erosion gives signs that this place is bone dry.
Hmm. How big is this hole?
Give or take about maybe 2 feet wide and about, give or take, maybe 14 inches tall.
Yeah, I'm not going in there. I'm not spelunking.
So, continuing forth, you pretty much come to a spot where you have a lot of still water.
I have seen many things in my time that have given me plum goose pimply nervousness. That time I attached a plunger to a block of cement and made a bird feeder.
Honestly, that's kind of impressive.
And there was a time that I went down to the swampy areas and there was tons of still water. There is usually monsters hiding in that water that would snatch up a scarfle at no time flat. If we go in here, we got to make sure. If you see bubbles underwater, we got to get out of there. Is anyone willing to go in this water? Because I sure don't want to go in there.
I'll go ahead and descend.
Actually, before you go in there, take the enforcer. She like hands you her scrap javelin. You're going to need this. If something tries to attack you, you can skewer it.
I appreciate the offer, but I have my own.
Suit yourself, but just be careful. We don't want nothing happening to you in there.
I can assure you I will be quite alright. You all be careful as well.
So, as soon as you step foot into this water, the ripples from the water uh, quite literally break what appears to be the first still, and you can visibly watch as the ripples expand and go farther out. It's almost like it was a razor thin sheet of frost that was keeping this thing together, and you had just now disturbed it. It is very crisp cool, not like ice, but cold enough that it's right before ice.
What it feels like at 3 a.m. to go get a nice cold water from the
Yeah,
fridge.
yes, very much like that.
Humanity is restored.
Nice.
The water is fairly shallow, to be quite honest. As you get to what you assume to be the deepest part, it's only up to the middle of your shins. But the further out you're going, the lighter the air gets. You feel like, as of right now, where you're at, like you're breathing with half a lung, like you're missing one.
Curious. Very curious indeed.
Aniva,
Mm-hmm.
very familiar with being alone in dungeons and whatnot.
Yes.
You get the sensation that you're being watched very closely. As you look around to try and find what is causing this anxiety, you're not seeing anything, but the minute you turned around to look back in the direction you were coming from, it slowly subsides.
Who's around me right now?
You have Winter directly to your side, to your left. Gulp is in front of you to the right, and then obviously Ornithalis is shin deep into still water.
Uh, hey, Winter.
Hmm.
I feel like I'm being watched. Do you feel the same?
No, right now I'm not.
Hmm.
Anxiety acting up again after all that.
I'm unsure.
Well,
I would just say
again, let
keep an
us
eye out.
know.
Mm-hmm. Should let you know. He's just gonna now be more actively just looking around. Just do a little perception check as a tree.
As a treat, go ahead and roll
As
your
a,
dice.
as a tweet, to roll a dice.
And for dessert, you get to roll two of them.
No, disadvantage.
I never said with advantage. Nah, just normal roll.
No. I'm just trying to grab my fucking. Okay, so it's a +4. Yeah. So it's gonna be a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. So as you're actively looking around, well, so to your surprise, when you guys were looking over at that chair the last time, it was just the chair. Now it appears to have some kind of helmet in the shape of a rabbit. It's top half of a skull with the ears. Very similar to like that one killer from Dead by Daylight that I can never remember his fucking name.
The Huntress?
It might be.
Oh yeah, it's probably the Huntress because you said rabbit. Yeah.
Huntress, DVD. Da, 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 da. Yes, very similar.
I believe that chair just changed, or someone put something on that chair.
Why are you on a bet? What in the hell? I wasn't there last time.
Definitely was
Eh.
not.
So Gulp's like, what are you guys talking about?
Chair. Look on it. That wasn't there last time.
I'm gonna look and see what you're talking about.
So you turn around and you don't even need a perception check. With everyone pointing it out, yeah, you can see some kind of rabbit mask sitting on top of the headrest.
And she's just going to like she's going to reach into she's going to reach into her satchel and pull out her tomahawk. And you
Okay.
see her you see her usually goofy demeanor, like she locks in.
Go ahead and make me. You're gonna throw it at the mask.
No, she's not throwing it at the mask. She's locking in, and like you see her go serious for a moment,
She's gonna throw it at it.
and she's like, everyone, I'm gonna need you guys to stay close. That is a universal scarful sign of bait. You know what that is? That is a taunt saying that we're prey and there's a predator somewhere around here. Arm yourselves.
Bob Biddledy has acquired a life detection, unable to detect pinpoint location. But another entity has appeared on Bob Biddledy's radar. It is currently moving very quickly.
Set to alarm status where if it gets within 3 feet of us, alarm status activate.
3 feet is way too short. Make it larger.
How large would you suggest?
At minimum 10, maximum 30.
10 feet then. Secure alarm system to 10 feet.
Initializing. Alarm complete.
So she's like, something considers us prey right now. We're not
Analyzing.
careful.
No hostile nature has been detected in the local area. However, this other entity is moving rather rapidly. Too rapid for human or any kind of mortal life. Checking history databank. Unable to find any kind of living past or in the future entities that could possibly be moving at such a rate. Plausibilities. Ethereal, undead, or possibly otherworldly.
Everyone stay close and stay armed. Winter, I'm going to need you. You know what to do in these kinds of situations, right?
Entity lost. Recalibrating. Entity lost. Scanning. It appears the entity has fled. Entity has fled. What in the hell? So this thing just appeared, did a lap, and left?
Something's toying with us.
Well, I know exactly how to mess with your little bomb thing. Because he was able to detect it very quickly. Notify us.
Bobility is my greatest invention. He
He's
was able to.
certainly doing a lot for us right now, that's for damn sure.
He was built to be a Scarfel's best friend and the number one assistant in any given task. He's like a walking multi-tool, except his functions are a lot more vast.
Well, that was something. Is that our cue to leave?
Couldn't
Right.
even understand what he just said.
I'm not sure either, but it's, not friendly if it's that deep.
Usually it's bigger if it's deep.
Ornitholus, you should probably get out of the water.
Oh, I'm super far in at this point, as far away as I can get.
Alright, so I'm gonna
To the
say
right.
to this way. Alright.
Yeah.
So you get about here, and the oxygen is starting to come back. You're noticing that as you continue to go this way, the water is getting lower. Well, not so much lower, but it stays low. But there are little spots that you notice that appear to be what you assume just based off of how you can feel a very light current now that you're coming here. Whatever is behind you was supposed to leak into coming this way and to give rushing water to this area. So it was essentially coming like this and then flushing out this way or this way. Or
Gotcha.
just outright going this way.
Right. So that's the direction of the current.
It's very light, but you can feel it.
Yeah.
What ails is light?
Gulp.
Yeah.
So, from what you can tell, once upon a time, the water used to be much higher. You had to guess based off of the staircase you came from to get here. The staircase was actually what descended into the water. As far as where the water leads, no real telling. Because as far as you can see, this tunnel just keeps going for water. Which is bizarre, being what's on the surface.
Right.
So your next question is, where is this water coming from if you're to go this way deeper? From your eyes, this entire crypt is an anomaly. And you also are the only one who did not hear not only Bob Biddledy's warnings, but that voice that the other three heard. You did not hear that at all.
Right. Considering my current position, while I did intend to explore, I don't want to get too far.
Right.
So I'll turn around with the intentions of going the other way.
Mm-hmm. So you'll get about here, and obviously Pulp will notice you and then probably call out to you.
Get back here this instant. There's something in the water.
What?
There's something in the water, Conflabbit.
What?
probability megaphone function.
I do not think that he will hear you.
I immediately
cut
just
off.
No, as
invaders.
I'm yelling what, I'm actively making my way back toward you to try and hear what you said.
Caves cut off sound extremely easily. Snuff out any sound.
There's something in the water.
You can stop screaming. You're just wasting your breath. Seems like he's making his own way up.
All right.
He's making his own way up.
I'll
Oh boy!
Gets exploded.
boom.
He's making his own way up. Oh,
Something in the water, you say?
dynamite.
There was something that was talking to us and stuff, and it was all threatening, and and you should have seen it or heard it, because there was a mask that's probably still there behind us that popped up on the dag blasted chair, and it wasn't there before, and
Wait, a mask.
And you look and there's no mask.
it was a rabbit mask. It was like talk. That's the universal
Scarecrow.
symbol of prey in my tongue.
I'll go ahead and climb out of the water.
Okay.
What exactly did this voice say?
Couldn't make it out. So it was very, well, unintelligible. Sounded like they were trying to mutter something or tell you something, but nothing really could make out words.
I see. Well, what do you propose we do now?
We still need to get what we came for.
Perhaps we should make our way back and hang a left. See if there's anything further down that hallway.
Alright. So, you guys come back up here. You should get a closer look. Yeah, there's definitely no mask there anymore.
Cool, I'm gonna go ahead and hang the left like I planned.
Okay. Anyone fall on foot? Anyone want to do anything else before we hang that left?
No.
Oop, hang that left.
Taking
Your
another
immediate
time.
left, you can see what appears to be a couple offset. I wouldn't even call them rooms, just indentations in the wall to where you can see various coffins, almost sarcophagus style. And then a very broken, I would say caved in, like very similar to like if you were to jump on your second story floor hard enough and it just falls through. Yeah, that's kind of like what this upper portion looks like. Based off of what it looks like, this is supposed to be some kind of maybe ceremonial stage or some kind, because you do see another statue that is very similar to the first one you saw, but instead of having no arms, this one has no head.
No head.
No head. But what's also curious is if you go perfectly straight, there's an empty spot. Like there's stairs leading up to it, and there's just nothing there.
I'll go ahead and step inside this big chamber-like area, making my way to the nearest lit section of the map. That little indentation.
Right here. This one.
That one there, yeah.
This one. So obviously it's not lit on the map, but I get what you're referring to. So
Yeah.
as you walk up to it, it very plainly looks like, for easy comparison, like the Han Solo and Carbonite loadout. A straight stone slab, sandstone, with what you assume to be whoever's inside of it carved out to be essentially just hands on the chest, fingers interlocked, lying back, eyes closed.
You
No
already know the check.
markings. History check. You can try. There's no markings as far as like letterings or words to see if there's an identification of who this person is.
Right. Are we running that +5 or the +8?
+8. Everything in here gets the +8.
26.
Just naturally assume it's the +8. So 26. This is, as far as you can recall, the predecessor to proper sarcophaguses, when they made them out of stone instead of out of metal. Because metal, over time, if you were buried in a metal coffin, like they do with proper sarcophaguses, was a sign of social status. And even so, the more colors, the higher the status. Before that was just outright stone, and if it was painted, would determine social status.
Okay. And does it look like there's a top to this that can be removed, or is it just one solid slab?
Give me a perception check.
14.
14. There's one there, but you can only notice it from what appears to be a crack. And it's a parallel crack. And it's maybe about 8 inches long. Erosion probably melded the two pieces of stone together. I'm not sure. But there's enough of a crack that's noticeable to be shown that this could be opened with enough force.
Gulp.
Yeah.
That weapon you tried to hand me earlier. Could I see it?
The enforcer weapon?
Yes, that one.
Here you go.
Wonderful. And Sean, what was your character's name again?
Ineva.
Neva? Okay. That's right. Neva, Winter, could the two of you give me a hand here?
Metaphorically or literally?
I'm not cutting off my hand again.
What do you mean again?
That's what I'm wondering.
Magic.
Oh, I see. Anyways, I need help getting this open.
Alright. Alright,
I'm
everyone
gone.
make me a strength check! Everyone gets advantage
Yay.
because everyone's helping each other.
Yippee!
Alright. So, base strength,
Yeah, base strength check.
that's a working class 20. And I'm purposely using the enforcer weapon to dig into the crack and use the weapon as leverage.
Natural 23.
That's a 17.
So, as a whole, you all managed to get whatever sealed the crack to unseal, and you can visibly watch a lot of the stone dust that you guys are kicking up as you're getting the spearhead further into the stone to create unbreaking of a seal. A lot of the sand and smoke and dust being siphoned into the inside. Eventually, you all manage to get enough of the seal broken that you can collectively just push it to the side and kind of just thump onto the side. Inside reveals a skeleton, bone dry, very, very similar uh, pose as what was carved on the top, wearing what appears to be some kind of garb, uh, wearing white and red. Think your very cookie cutter Shaolin monastery monk kind of outfit, with white and red.
Hmm.
Not much personal belongings on the inside, with the exception of what you can actually assume to be the equivalent of a bow staff, laying to his left side.
Arcana check.
You can.
Alright, so let's see. 16.
Just giving it a quick look over. Doesn't look magical in nature by any means. If anything, this could have been a simple walking stick or a very simple uh, bow staff, quarterstaff equivalent of a weapon, a literal beating stick. There's no runes, no markings, just a good sheet of bamboo with a couple of threads.
And the skeleton in my surrounding area.
One more time.
And for the skeleton, the surrounding area.
Um, Come empty-handed. This very much just seems to be a very peaceful, resting skeleton.
Well, come on. We have more to take care of.
Seems a very peaceful life. Now, here's my. Maybe I'm looking into it too much. Yeah, I'll drop it.
No, ask your question.
It's an executioner's chair, right? Why is
Yes.
there very simple burials here, but caged individuals there? More and more does not make sense. You have people very commonly and peacefully buried. Then you have people locked in cages with their heads removed. And you describe that to me an executioner's chair.
Perhaps these could be the bodies of some very dangerous criminals.
Last I checked, criminals don't dress up like monks.
I have a few words about that.
You what? Say that one more time.
Oh, and as I said, I have a few words about that.
Ah,
They can realistically dress up as anything they do desire.
well, either way, let's continue our way down. I start moving toward the next, what I would assume to be another sarcophagus.
Yep. And just very similar to the last one, but just obviously a different person that has been carved out.
You think we should try replacing some of the statue parts and then giving them to the armless one?
That's precisely what we're looking for, Gulp. Leave no stone unturned, as they say. Come on. Let's check the sarcophagi.
I can't help but feel like we're desecrating the dead here.
Worse. Could be fighting it.
Once we're done, we'll go ahead and place the tops back on the caskets.
That'll be
And we'll have Winter consecrate them so they won't come back.
want me to what?
Consecrate them.
I doubt that they would be able to. I don't sense any magics here that would suggest such a thing happening.
You all realize I'm a knight in practice, yes? I'm no cleric, I'm no priest.
I recognize this.
Because I know a thing or two about religion doesn't really necessarily mean I'm a priest.
Either way, back to the task at hand. And I go to find another opening on this casket.
Yep, very similar to the last one, but this one definitely appears to be more prominent. Just to keep things going aflow with using everyone's last roll. Very easily, you just crack it once again. You see that oxygen is siphoned into the inside. Push it open, and you got another one. Instead of being in a monk attire, this one very much looks like common early Celtic peasantry kind of attire. If you had to guess, this one's definitely a male.
I'm starting to think that these are people who were executed and then put in these coffins.
As the executioner's chair would suggest. Yes.
But these appear to be common people as of right now. And if this is truly where our man was buried, why? Why fit him to make a legend of being buried somewhere sacred and holy where only he is buried? Looks back at the
Forgive me.
hole at the upper quote unquote stage or platform. You wouldn't think.
That's the last spot I intend to look. I do intend to look there, but not until after we've opened up the sarcophagi.
Alright,
Come now. As I make my way to the next one.
Yep. Same as the
And
last
yes, this
one.
is the
Crack it open. Push it open. This one is your first, what appears to be female dead, but what is rather
I would sure hope she's dead.
what throws you for a loop on this one is
Hello?
the top part definitely is just showcasing her, but inside there is a second skeleton, a fraction of the size of hers.
Oh dear
mother and
golly.
child.
Oh dear golly.
Do you suppose mother and
Nothing
child,
there.
or perhaps a smaller race.
Well, smaller races typically have adult-sized heads. This one is, give or take, the size of a large grapefruit. Not even, but larger than that,
Whoever,
really.
if whoever done did this is still here, I'm gonna teach them a lesson.
I highly doubt they're still there.
So, Gulp,
Yeah,
when you say that, do you do anything in particular, or you just say that?
she's saying that while like clutching her spear.
Okay. Aniva,
Mm-hmm.
you get that feeling again. And when you turn around
Uh,
to look,
mhm.
what you assumed to be a headless statue the last time that when you upon entering, it now has a head and it is looking directly at you. Still has the blindfold from the previous statue, but it is very much just now has a head and its head is facing towards you.
Oh, well, at least it's blind. That's fine. Uh, Hmm. Does anyone else see that?
See what?
That statue right there.
What in the
Oh,
blazing
I'm
hells?
gonna turn around and
It
look.
grew
I'm not
ahead.
even. I was about to say, I'm not even looking. I'm gonna be like the headless statue. Yes, yes.
I'm gonna turn around
And
and
then I
look.
hear that. As
It
will
grew.
I.
Yeah, so you all turn around and it's now has a head and it's very similar to the last one. Still no arms, but it's got a head that very much resembles as the last statue you noticed, and its head is very much just turned
That's
to look,
looking. Sorry.
and the head is just turned to look straight at you as a group.
If I'm not mistaken, didn't this statue have arms before?
Yes.
Yeah, and now it's got a head, and it's looking right at us.
And no arms.
Are you starting to get that feeling like what happens when someone walks over your grave?
No, because last I checked, I'm not dead.
We in Scarfish have an old saying that you get goosebumps when someone walks over your grave. I got a bad feeling about this.
Han Solo.
Never tell me the odds.
I'm gonna walk right up to that statue.
Okay.
Smack the fuck out of it.
You go to pimp slap it and you break your hand.
Damn it!
So as you walk right up to it, it does not move. It does not react. It just still.
I would sure hope it doesn't. It's a statue.
I'm gonna place my hand on it and make an arcana check.
Sure. As you
Calls
place
you
your
a
hand
fool.
on it, it is ice cold. It is colder than the water, but it definitely has that stone texture. So feels real. Where's your Arcana check?
That's going to be 21.
1. If it is magical in nature, it is beyond your understanding. Because you are coming up empty handed.
So I don't feel any magical presence whatsoever.
No
No.
magical presence. It feels, looks, and arcane wise feels like just a normal statue. Anything?
I'm gonna smack it with the butt of my spear.
It makes a very hard, loud clink. Your spear does. And from stone, part of it, you actually chip off a good bit.
Hmm. Well, let's get back to looking at these sarcophagi.
And like Gulp's like, excuse my friend, he's an aspiring plastic surgeon.
God damn it.
That's stone.
All right, crack it open. Upon the top of this one, another male from what you assume. Push it open. This one appears to be in some very, not ornate, but very casual guardsman attire. He has in it a very plain silver shield, a very plain steel sword, which it looks like he pretty much has almost like a coat of arms style, where he's holding his shield uh, with both of his hands, and then someone just placed the sword to have the hilt rest on his collarbone. Nothing very flashy about his outfit. In fact, it's actually unoptimized for being a guard. It's very fabricy and it's very basic, common clothes.
Are you starting to think that these people are being abducted and sent here and like brought here?
I'm beginning to wonder if these are not followers of our hero. Or victims.
I
There's a
doubt that he would willingly slay a mother and child because then he ain't a hero no more.
Heroes don't exactly do hero stuff. At least in my
Or
time.
maybe he wasn't a hero at all and he was just made to look like one. Remember the good deeds and forget about the bad ones.
What? Yeah, that makes me think. What if his deeds were only viewed as heroic to the people that worshipped him?
Well, there is a very common thing that happens when writing the annals of history, and that is that the victor writes them.
Are you starting to think what I'm thinking?
This is not
I
a
feel it's too early
cemetery.
to make any judgments.
Maybe this isn't a cemetery but more a prison.
Well, come on. We have a few more to open up.
So as you all turn away to go to the other one, it's back to the way that you first found it. No head, has arms.
So no head.
No head.
Smash my phone.
No head. I smashed my phone. I got mad. I threw that bitch on the ground. I threw it on the ground.
And Gulp's like, okay, either pick an amputation or stick with it.
No stick.
Something's going on here, and I don't like it.
Oh, you're just now realizing that.
Every time we turn our head, something different about that statue.
Keep your wits about you.
Every time we turn around, something weird's about that statue. Okay, everyone.
New entity detected. It appears to be the same length and wavelength as the previous one detected before. Moving rapidly once more, but within the local area. Bouncing between the sarcophagus.
Bouncing between the sarcophagi. I'm gonna bolt my way towards the statue to essentially jump off that ledge and make my way to the next sarcophagi.
Far or close?
The closer one. I'm gonna usher the others to join me in this.
So crack it open. This one definitely has some kind of a little bit higher class than the opposite side, as this one's carved out to look more elegant, would be a proper word. As you push it open, this appears to be someone definitely of higher social status than the previous side, as this one is wearing a very nice, almost like a nightgown, if nightgowns were made of silk, and were decorated and tailored for everyday use. Under that is very plain, neat clothes, rather than just wool fabric or leather. This one does have some sort of amulet resting in her hands. It is brass in color with a bit of a gold trim around what appears to be a white gemstone. And you don't even need to make an arcana on this one, Orthalis, because one look and you can tell that this is some kind of magical item.
All right. Gonna scour my mind, see if I recognize the patterns or the gemstone, or if this is anything of significance.
Roll me a flat check.
A flat check?
A flat check.
Oh man, that one's not too good. 11.
You beat a 10. So, from what you are familiar with, these particular kinds of pendants that are not cylindrical, but circular and have some kind of gemstone with a gold trim surrounding it, in olden days were meant to be worn as charms to protect them from spirits or dead, and are often given to those that have passed as necromancy protection. The fact that the gemstone is white indicates purity.
Come on, to the next one. Do not touch the pendant.
We move to the next one. Very similar to the last one. Seems to be someone of higher social status and is male. Based on context clues, this must be either related by blood or by marriage, or some way related to the woman, as they are wearing very similar, if not matching, attire, just in a masculine form, and is also holding a anti-necromancy pendant. This one also has a ring on its right middle finger.
What kind of ring?
Very similar to how a wedding band looks in terms of thickness, but it's got one of those patterns, um, pretty much kind of like this, kind of,
Okay.
and it just keeps going. I can't exactly make it, but it's one of those patterns. From what you can tell, it's definitely made of some kind of ivory.
Miss Gulp, you've had your eyes on that statue all this time. Any changes?
I'm watching it.
No changes.
It's not moving yet, but I'm watching that thing.
Its day appears to be lost. entity found. It appears to be in the first room we entered. Not moving by any means, or at all for that matter. Analyzing. No hostility in entity's presence. Curious. It appears that this entity is more shy than it is hostile. It gets excited as it starts bouncing around in certain things that have occurred. At least, that is my interpretation. But anytime we get close to it, it appears to disappear. Entity lost.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, honestly. I guess good that we're not dying from it.
The metal creature said something along the lines of it not being hostile. How reliable is that?
Judging by Gulp's confidence, I would say very. But then again, let's go into the world of imagination, say this is spirit. Spirits are usually very mischievous.
Well, I say let's go ahead and make our way toward that hole.
Giggity. Anyway, so go around, walk up. Pretty decent sized hole. Maybe larger than the previous ones were as far as coffins went. Winter is going to take a torch out of her own satchel, light it with the existing torch, and just drop it down the hole. It takes about 3 seconds to drop and hit something on the ground, and something down there is making it light up like a Christmas tree because there's just a lot of glint. So something metallic is definitely down there.
3 second drop. Should be able to make it without getting injured.
If you do it right, it can actually be a tuck and tumble.
Before you go down in there, I got an idea.
That's a scary thought. But you haven't disappointed yet as far as we've been in here, so I guess I'll actually humor this for once.
Let's see. I should have. Does anyone here have any rope?
Pretty sure Lancey had some
Rope,
with me
rope,
last.
rope.
Go figure, he's not here. However, Eneva, you're one from the cavings. Don't you have any?
Any what?
Rope.
Sorry, say again. What?
Rope. Rope.
Oh, rope. Oh, yes. I believe I do. Hold on. He's gonna go ahead and dig through his bag. Then start to pull out some rope.
So
I have about
Me-
50 feet. I haven't used it.
So Gulp and Bob Bildy are going to tie some rope around Ornithalis in a harness pattern, like some rope under the arms
Yeah.
and some around the waist. And it's like, all right,
As
here's
they
the deal.
go to do that, I'm gonna stop them. Choose one of them instead. I'll be fine.
I'm rather heavy right now with all this armor, so unless you want to be first, or if Eneva, you want to volunteer, I can't exactly, if something happens to me down there, I don't exactly have armor on. Just, does add 50 pounds. I don't know how sturdy that rope is, being that you're not even confident with it.
Sure. Why not?
Right. Volunteer gulp. Kana.
What?
And they have a volunteer.
All right. So I'm gonna. So then you want me to tie the harness around you?
It's fine with me.
All right.
Go ahead and make me a survival check.
Me?
Yep.
Hold on a second. $18.
18. Okay. So you make your knots, you make your harness loop, you get it around him. What do you do after that?
All right. Here's the plan.
Hmm.
We're going to go. We're going to lower you down in there, and at the first sign of trouble, you yank on the rope, and we'll haul you back up.
Yeah.
So I guess let's lower them in there.
All right. So as you stand on this little piece right here, you pretty much start rock climbing, start shimmying yourself down until there's no thing to pretty much lay your feet on, and Winter is going to assist, making sure that physics don't rip Gulp down because you weigh a lot more than Gulp.
Yes.
Like the guy with the 10-story thing with the brick barrel.
There. Oh, now there seems to be a barrel of bricks coming down at me.
So they start lowering you down, and you get closer to the torch that Winter dropped. As you get closer, you actually do manage to set your feet on the ground, and there being some slack for the rope to just tie off if need be. You pick up the torch and start using it to look around.
Dark vision.
And Jesus Christ, that scared the shit out of me.
No, it's an Ava. But good idea.
So you pick up your torch and you start looking around. See what's with all this glint. It appears you see a decent amount of some kind of metal shards or clusters of metal, like something almost like glass shattering, broke apart and was metallic. Content clues: probably whatever was encapsulating this entire suit of armor, weapon, shield. You're pretty confident you found what you guys are looking for. Problem is, there's no body. There's no skeleton.
That's no good.
Part of you wonders if it was a chest that held this, or if this was a coffin, where'd the body go? And on that note, I'm gonna take a fiver, grab a bite, take a piss.
Hey, I was gonna say take a piss.
Bet as a quick note before we pause this recording,
Okay.
as soon as Neva touches the ground, I'm gonna jump down.
Okay.
Bro
Make me an
said, "Coming in
acrobatics
hot."
check for fall damage, and we'll get back to that in a moment. Okay, and we're back.
All right.
Like no time passed at all.
Though it's been about 20 minutes. So,
Mario, what the fuck?
you asked me for.
Acrobatics.
That's gonna be a Da-da-da, 22.
22. So, with what ability you have, naturally as your occupation, you simply just drop down and fall gracefully.
Beautiful. I was actually about to ask about that ability.
In theory, you could be able to just bounce right back up, but it's a little higher than simple 30 feet.
Right. Okay. That's fine.
Yep. So as you join any of at the bottom, you see the same thing as they do.
The armor, but no body.
Armor, no body. Lots of metal shrapnel and almost like glass shattered open of just metal shards laying around. No real big pieces to show whether it was like a coffin or a chest or something. Just like glass. There's no real way to determine shape.
Right. Well, let's get to getting the rest of them down here.
Oh,
Are you sure I should be going down there? We need someone to hold the rope.
It'll be fine. Bring the rope with you.
Bob ability enter pulley system mode.
and he simply just coils the rope around his wrist and then around his arm.
All right. So she's gonna have him lower her down in there.
Okay. What is he lowering you down to?
Down to the ground inside
Right.
that hole.
So, my point being is nothing is wrapped around you.
I'll just grab it onto the rope and like. Well, okay. I'll like. She's gonna tie it around herself and then go down in.
Okay. So you get about 2/3 of the way, and Bob Biddledy runs out of rope to drop down.
Guys, I'm a little stuck here.
No worries. Hold on. Is gulp within the 30 foot?
Yeah.
Cool. When I grab you, let go of the rope.
All right.
And I'll use my leap to grab gulp.
All right. So you use your leap. You jump, give or take, about 15 feet in the air, and you grab on the gulp. Gulp lets go, and you just drop down very carefully.
I'm just imagining him carrying Gulp like gosh dang Superman.
Yeah, pretty much.
I was about to say
Underneath the one arm and everything.
Being carried.
I'll
like
go
a baby.
ahead. Go ahead, set gulp down.
God damn it! Who's calling me at this hour? What does my mother want with me at this hour? And Winter is going to eventually just fireman pole style, just slide down.
Rope burn.
Beautiful. Let's
Getting
make our
rope
way
from,
forward.
but all right. This is the best one I could find, but imagine instead of water, it's just dirt.
Okay. Is
Best
the
thing I
dirt
could
moist?
find. Huh?
Is it moist?
I wouldn't say moist, but more humid.
So the dirt is not moist. Damn. That's right.
Pretty much, it's like muggy, like imagine like a lakeside, like 2 a.m. in like the tropics. Like hot, and you feel like you're underwater, even though there's no water around.
Bet.
Winter pulls out her book and she starts flipping through it. It says for showing the shield and the swords. No amulets, it seems, at least from immediate vicinity. And here's the gauntlets. Armor set. That's just normal armor. Kicks it. We're missing just the amulets. Well, I'm already creeped out by this place. Let's take our spoils and fucking leave.
I have an idea. Let's leave. Let's get the fuck out of here.
What the Sigma?
What the fuck? Shut up.
Wait, don't we? Aren't we supposed to have a body here?
That's why I'm saying let's take it and leave. Would you like to find the body?
I would personally not like to
You
find a
sure
body.
that's not what's been following us this whole time?
Possible.
I would not like to
Doubtful,
figure out.
but possible.
And
Either way.
And thus taking his stuff is going to somehow incite his wrath.
Everything I'm currently wearing. You know what? Never mind.
Well, load up what you can carry. I'm gonna start looking around to see if there's any hints to where that body might be.
I'll join you in that search, but I'll be going in the opposite direction that you're going.
Alright. Go ahead and make me an investigation check, you both.
Investigation is a 22.
One moment. 17 plus 6.
So 23.
The one thing I have expertise in besides perception.
Hell yeah.
So, as you both begin to try to make sense of where this body could have been, going through the sand, trying to look for some kind of track or trail, the only thing you're really finding out is this is definitely what was sitting on top. It fell through the floor, it shattered, and everything landed right where it was. Part of you wonders if there was a body to begin with, but at the same time, the scripts definitely say that he was buried with his armory, meaning his armor, his shield, his sword, his gauntlet, and his amulet.
Something ain't making sense here. By all accounts, he should be buried here, but where is he? He's up and walking around somewhere, is what I'm starting to think.
Or perhaps the body was stolen.
Who got here before us, and how could they have figured out the dag blasted puzzles and everything?
Hey, Pyro, I have a question.
I have an answer.
Pineapple.
Whenever we were up top, did it look like the hole had debris around it up top, or is most of the debris down here?
Most of the debris is down here. From what it looks like, is quite literally similar to like a sinkhole of when it just capsized in itself. At least that's what it appears.
Gotcha.
Whether that's actually what happened or not, only time will show. And we don't have a chronomancer.
Right. So, well, I agree. Let's make our way out of here. Do me a favor. Hand me that rope.
Me?
Whoever has the rope.
Alert. Entity has returned and is now being detected. It is within the room within you.
It's in
No
here
movement.
with us.
It appears curious. It's keeping a distance, but is definitely observing you. Indications show that it is approximately analyzing. Age undetectable.
I think we done found a body.
Entity lost. Entity has been reinforced. It has moved. It is now on the surface where that chair was. Entity lost.
Stop calling out where it's at.
This thing is like hair in a barber shop. It's everywhere.
After you tell it to stop calling out where it's at, Bob Biddledy just goes dead silent.
What was the hero's name
dead.
again?
Let me see here. That's also my way of saying I need to check my notes.
Yeah, no, that's a player question.
Right.
That's not in character. So.
So my notes say that this is the tomb of the sunbound king. Doesn't give us a very specific name. if I did give a specific name, I definitely don't remember it, and it was in like a session 0 or session 1.
Right.
But my notes say this is the tomb of the Sunbound King, which is what the legend would entail.
Sunbound King. Are there any lit torches currently?
No. Actually, yes, it's the one that Winter dropped.
I'll go ahead and pick up that torch. I'm gonna look to everyone else. Stand next to each other. Stand completely still. Do you trust me?
Us?
Sketchy, but well, yes.
Sure. Why not?
I don't know if any of you have the ability to see in the dark, but I do. And as I say that, I snuff out the torch.
Okay.
Sunbound King.
So your voice simply echoes through your current room, and don't get much of a reaction.
If that is indeed you, why not come out and introduce yourself?
Time, a few moments go by. Not much happens. In fact, it gets colder. You feel like you're being suffocated as the air gets thinner and thinner.
Guys, I'm getting a bad feeling about this.
I'll go ahead and relight the torch.
So how are you relighting it? I'll put it that way.
How? Well, I imagine that I would have some flint inside my whatchamacallit, the
Tinderbox?
Dungeoneer bag.
Okay. So your tinderbox and you're just using it to relight with the flint. Your flint and steel.
Oh no!
Yes.
So
Really?
so you're getting a lot of sparks and a lot of overall flint that is trying to light. but you're watching the ember that the flint gives off burn out just as quick as you strike it. I'm gonna need everyone to make me a vitality check.
$24.
Okay.
It's gonna be 13.
15.
10.
So, Gulp, because you are closer to the floor, you're the only one not being affected by this. But everyone else begins to feel really lightheaded due to the lack of oxygen.
Oh no, the one thing we can't fight against. The lack of oxygen.
So Gulp, like, do I realize what's going on?
Do you?
Well, she's gonna grab everyone and pull them down to her level.
So, when you pull them down to your level, they do get a couple gasps of air, but it's what you can infer to be only a matter of time.
We have to get out of here.
You think? That's not obvious.
Quick.
So,
I have an idea. Tie some of the rope around this, and she pulls out her tomahawk. We're
how's
gonna
that
form
going to do?
either that, or I have Bob Billy enter spring mode, and he can spring himself out of this hole and carry us along with it. One or the other. Which is it? Do you want to live, or do you want to suffocate?
I think that's a very loaded question. And if you don't figure out which one the answer is, I'm gonna make you join us in suffocating.
We'll try
So-
both.
So I'm gonna throw the tomahawk out, like attached to some rope, out of the tunnel or out of the hole.
Up the
Try to
top.
see if I can catch it on to see if I can catch it on anything.
Okay. So you make me a ranged attack.
We got an 18.
15? Okay.
Do I need modifiers for that?
I mean, it's a ranged attack. So it'd be your agility.
So my agility would be +2, so it'd be a 20.
So, as you throw your tomahawk, you throw it up, and excuse me, I need you to move. You manage to latch it right around on this little lip part that's right there. But you manage to get it on the back end.
Bob Billy, climb up the rope and
Bob Biddledy is not with
manage.
you. Bob Biddledy has
Bob
been on,
Billy,
on top the entire time.
Bob Billy, grab the rope. Grab the rope and haul us up.
All Inave is gonna do is he's gonna tug the rope. You know
Both
exactly
of
what they told him
you
to do.
get no response.
No.
Oh, that ain't good. All right, start climbing.
Any other bright ideas?
Start climbing. I managed to get it hooked onto something. We gotta start climbing. Shivvy up.
It's only gonna support so much weight.
Okay, I'll shimmy up since I'm the lightest, and then I'll pull the rest of you up.
Alright, that's the thoughts, but good luck.
So
So I'm
go
gonna-
ahead and make me an athletics check.
All right. We got a. Yeah, we got a. Dang it! I didn't put any modifiers for agility, but it was a 20.
Give me a moment, guys.
Okay.
It was a 20, but there are no modifiers. But so far, if it would be agility, it would be +2, so it'd be a 22. I think I'm starting to get the hang of how modifiers work. All right, so now what?
All right. So River's left for unknown reasons, but probably has stuff coming up. So keep it going.
Yeah,
All right. So you go ahead and climb up.
I'm going to use some of my scrap to form I'm going to use some of my scrap to brace the rope. Like I'm going to use my javelin to create like just some braces, just so I can keep the length steady.
Okay.
And I'm going to start trying to pull some people up.
So I just want to make note that when you finally come up to the top, Bob Biddledy is not to be found.
This is not good, not good, not good, not good. And it's like she's trying to she's like frantically trying to pull someone up.
Okay. I'm gonna have you make me a strength check for Winter.
All right. $19.
Okay. So you struggle with getting her up, but you do manage to get her up eventually.
All right. Now let's help get Ornithalis out of there. So roll again.
With advantage since Winter is helping you.
All right. Dang it. Fell out of my dice tray. 20.
Okay.
Now to get the last one out.
All right, and with that, it's just gonna be simple as that. Everyone gets up, and this room has gotten concerningly cold.
All right. We need to get the dilly out of here. Otherwise, we're going to be part of this tomb. I can't find Bob Biddledy anywhere. I don't know where he is. He never disobeys orders. And he doesn't just wander off on his own.
Well, apparently he has now. No use in focusing on it. Let's go.
I hate leaving him down here, but I don't know what else to do.
Let's leave. I read you. Let's leave.
Winter, what do you think?
I think we're not alone. And you see that she is very much just staring at all of the coffins you have all opened. And as you
Well, good
look
for
to
them.
follow her
Now
eyes,
what?
they're not open.
Wait. So
I knew we should have consecrated them.
you said they're open, but they're not. They don't have people in them, or
So before you opened all of them, they are no
Mhm.
longer open. They are back to being sealed shut.
Okay.
So someone is down here. They closed up them coffins and took Bob Biddley. Someone is down here with us.
Gee, it's almost like Bob Biddledy was making that well known.
Yeah, but we never saw who it was. They've been jumping around all over the place.
Gee, I wonder why. It's like they're not even here. Well, in terms of land of living.
Look, I saved your life, so be a little nice to me, okay?
Yeah, well, save my life and thank me when we get out of here. But are we not going to address the fact that, well, it's almost like the room reset?
Yeah, I noticed that. You think the statues are still the same?
I mean, obviously they are right there.
All right, everyone stay close. If you see Bob Biddley, I have a feeling he might not be the same when we see him. I,
I feel like you're correct.
he is. He is an empty vessel after all. Something could have possessed him.
Do you suggest if that is the case?
If that's the case, we got a problem. Is Bob Biddley is armed?
Lovely.
I think that would be a decent place to call it. That'd be a good spot to call it.
Yeah.
Recording.